Hi, I'm Leela. I'm the Technical Director at Frog Environmental, and I am stood inside a Silt Capture Channel. So it does what it says on the tin. These are used on a construction site when we're trying to capture solids. So part of a silt treatment system requires us to treat, to mix the gel flocculant, and then to remove the silts. Without removing the silts, we don't have a full treatment system. So what we tend to do above this is we can treat with a gel flocculant, whether that's through a pipe reactor or something that is in situ in a channel. So it's a rain-ready system just through gravity feeding. And then as the water enters the channel here, it is diffused. So at this point here, we've placed a silt mat down to just diffuse some of the water to stop it from eroding the channel bed and to contain it sufficiently. Moving down through the channel, we use a combination of silt mats, floc mats, and silt wattles. So these are used systemized to create 3 compartments. So here we've got the floc mats, which are a fully biodegradable mat coated in a gel flocculant. So as water passes across that, it then builds up behind the silt wattle. And that is intentional. We want to compartmentalize this before the water then passes over a set of silt mats and then repeats the system, moving down through the channel 3 times. Silt capture channels tend to be 3.6 meters wide by 15 meters in length. They can vary in their gradient from 1 degree to 4 degree. The maximum flow rate they can take in terms of treatment is 900 litres per minute. That is 15 litres per second. Any greater flow rate, then you risk overtopping, not attaining the treatment that we require in order to give you good, clean water leaving site. We have some pre-installation advice that we give out to everybody. Ideally, before you start this work, you create a working platform. So an area of 4 meters by 20 meters with a gradient of between 1 and 4 degrees. Step 1, you peg out the corners of the silt capture channel. So you place the corner pegs 3.6 meters apart, and then you place your further corner pegs 5 meters down. So you're essentially creating a 5-meter box. And then you repeat this 3 times. So you've got a 15-meter channel by 3.6 meter width. Infill these pegs with further timber stakes at 1 meter intervals. And this is essentially going to create you your profile in which you're going to create your silt capture. The second stage, once you've created your 15 meter by 3.6 meter outline using the pegs, is to place the coir rolls. So these coir rolls are essentially acting as edge protection. They're creating a stable surface to the side of the capture channel so that water isn't going to just spill over. As you can see, the coir rolls are placed on the inside of the pegs and they are overlapped slightly so that you're going to have a continuous edge or bund to the channel. Once the coir rolls are in place, you can roll out the impermeable liner. Essentially, it is a plastic liner. We have experimented with a number of different biodegradable liners, but the reality is we need something that is impermeable. We have to retain the water in this channel. If it was to escape through a more permeable feature, we're going to lose the silt control function that we're offering here. So once you roll the liner out, you can just literally tuck it in, fold it into the edges, and push the coir rolls then up against the pegs. So you're holding everything in place. Then, working from the top to the bottom of the channel, you can start to place the coir mats. This first coir mat is literally a diffuser mat. It is where you're going to be expecting water to enter the channel. So this way you can place the head of a lay flat hose or maybe a cascading waterfall from site. But regardless, the input is going to come onto a silt mat to diffuse it. Additional measures can be used here, so you could put it inside a pipe and create a rock bund around it, but essentially we are after spreading the flow across the channel and slowing the water down. The next row of mats are a floc mat. So all the way across the channel, we're placing them side by side, lengthways across, so sideways across this channel. So we're placing a series of 6 floc mats. So these Floc Mats are essentially a fully biodegradable mat that has been coated with a gel flocculant product. This is going to further assist the polishing of the water as it is moving down through the channel. These Floc Mats are weighted in position just using sandbags, as you can see. We are not after a full coverage of sandbags. The sandbags can just be used on the leading edges. As the Floc Mats are placed down, we are making sure again that the leading edge is scalloped over the top of the next mat so that the water can't bypass and duck underneath. Following these mats, we're then placing a silt wattle. This silt wattle has only got a diameter of 20 centimetres. We don't want anything greater because we don't want the water to overtop the sides of the channel. So the silt wattle is positioned here to create the first compartment, and water is slowed down and backed up, aiding and facilitating the dropout of the flocked particles. Following that, we've got a series of 4 silt mats. Again, these are positioned side by side to each other and overlapping in exactly the same way. The overlaps tend to be about 10 centimetres. Then, moving down through the channel, we repeat this process a further 2 times. So you're going to end up with a series of Floc Mats, silt wattle, silt mats, Floc Mats, silt wattle, silt mats, as you can see. So as we're moving down through the channel, the water quality is going to be getting progressively better. The majority of the sediments will be contained on this uppermost compartment. So once we've got all of these mats in and we've weighted them down, we've got to think about where the water is going to be moving to. We don't want to have put all this effort into treating water and having clean, clear water running off the bottom of the channel for it to move over unmade ground, for example. So using the excess of the silt capture liner, or maybe even putting a pipe in, create a channel so that the clean water is being diverted and moved to the point at which we are discharging off-site, whether that is into a drain, whether that is into a ditch or another surface water feature. It's really important that we're keeping that water clean at that point. As the water is moving into the channel though, we also have to consider that influence at this point, and further scour protection might be needed. So just think about the impact you're having on the natural channel system where the water is going to be moving into. Place extra scour protection, whether that's another silt mat or whether that's actually sort of some rock armouring. Again, it's going to be completely location dependent. Maintenance of a channel is going to be really important to its ongoing or continuing in terms of giving you good water quality. As I've already said, we are trapping and holding sediments in this channel, so it is going to become full. Part of this will be the monitoring. So when you're discharging water off site, you are going to be monitoring that water quality. If you start to see a deterioration in that water quality, you need to look upstream. So come and have a walk up along the Silt Capture Channel. Check to see whether you can notice any silt sitting high above the mats to indicate that they're really full and not functioning as they should be. If they appear to be good, then look further upstream. Maybe it's your forward feed has become more muddy. Maybe a new activity has started on site. So really it's very important that we carry out the monitoring so we can investigate why the performance might have been reduced. But as part of that, for example, if you are observing changes to the Silt Capture Channel, we need to start to remove the mats and replace them. These are fully biodegradable materials. So when you remove them, you can think about where they're going to be repositioned on site. Think about how they might be reused. Put this into your materials management plan so you have a good idea in advance. Are you going to be stabilising an embankment with them? Are they going to be part of a new feature where you're going to be creating a new wildlife or reptile function? You want some really interesting sort of crevices to be formed. Are you going to be planting trees or hedgerows in which these can become planting mats offering weed suppressant and a really good moisture retaining substrate? So, the mats have got multiple uses once they've completed your silt control measures. When you're removing the mats from the channel, they're going to be around 50 kilograms each, so they're going to be extremely heavy for manual handling. So think about removing them mechanically, folding them, putting a strop around them and lifting them out of position, and then moving them to where you want to on site. Then to replace them, you can just put the mats back in exactly the same positions that they were. Remember to turn off the forward feed. If you are pumping water when you are doing maintenance, you're going to be causing a silt pollution. So turn that forward feed off. Do this activity in the dry to ensure you're not going to cause a silt pollution when you're trying to treat water.